Did you know that nearly half of what you did today, from the moment you woke up, wasn't a conscious choice? It happened almost automatically. That's the power of habit, a silent force shaping your reality. We like to think we're in control, consciously directing our actions and decisions, but science shows our routines, those ingrained patterns of behavior, run much of our lives on autopilot, freeing up our minds for other tasks. This isn't a flaw, it's an opportunity, a chance to harness this powerful mechanism. Once you understand how habits work, the subtle cues and rewards that drive them, you hold the keys, the power to influence and reshape them, to real change, to lasting transformation in your life. The reason you feel stuck, unable to break free from unwanted behaviors, isn't lack of willpower. It's not about simply trying harder, it's deeply ingrained patterns, neural pathways etched into your brain, dictating your actions without you even realizing it. Habits shape your health, influencing your energy levels and overall well-being, productivity, determining how effectively you accomplish your goals, happiness, impacting your mood and sense of fulfillment, and even your finances, guiding your spending and saving habits. The real question: are your habits building? Are they constructing the future you desire, the life you want? Or are they leading you down a different path? Your brain is a super efficient assistant, constantly working behind the scenes, automating repeated actions, turning them into effortless routines to save energy, conserving precious mental resources. But it doesn't judge, it's not discerning or critical, it just repeats what you do, reinforcing those patterns, good or bad, helpful or harmful. That's why mindless scrolling, that endless stream of information or stress snacking, reaching for comfort food in times of anxiety becomes automatic, a default response to certain triggers. Understanding habit mechanics, the science behind why we do what we do, isn't trivia. It's not just interesting information. It's the foundation, the bedrock upon which you can build of personal transformation, the key to unlocking your full potential. Learn to shape your habits, consciously design the routines that serve you, and you move from being a passenger, passively carried along by your default behaviors, to taking the wheel, actively steering your life in the direction you choose of your life. The architecture of your day, the structure of your daily existence, is built brick by brick, action by action, by your habits, the unseen architects of your destiny. What exactly is a habit? It's a question we often ponder, especially when trying to understand why we do the things we do. It's a choice you once consciously made, a decision you actively considered, but it was repeated over and over until it became automatic, a seamless part of your routine. Deep in your brain, in the intricate network of neurons, the basal ganglia, a region responsible for motor control and procedural learning, diligently stores these patterns, these sequences of actions. This allows your conscious mind to take a break, freeing up mental resources for other tasks, other challenges. Every time you repeat a behavior, any behavior, and get a reward, no matter how small, your brain eagerly releases dopamine, the neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and motivation, reinforcing the loop, solidifying the connection between the behavior and the reward. The more you repeat it, the more consistent the behavior becomes, the stronger and more efficient the neural pathway becomes, making the habit even harder to break. Think of it as carving a path through a dense forest. Each repetition is like taking another step. The more you walk it, the easier and more natural it gets to follow that same route. Your carefully crafted morning routine, that's your brain efficiently chunking a series of actions into a single, effortless program designed for optimal performance. This is undeniably great for cultivating good habits, the kind that propel you forward, like automatically putting on your running shoes the moment you wake up, signaling to your brain that it's time to exercise. But it's also precisely why bad habits can be so incredibly difficult to shake. Mindlessly checking your phone the instant you feel even a twinge of boredom, or perhaps procrastinating on a crucial task by suddenly feeling the urge to tidy up your desk. Those too are deeply ingrained habits running almost entirely on autopilot. Your brain isn't inherently weak or flawed, it's simply wired for efficiency, constantly seeking ways to conserve energy and streamline processes. Therefore, the very first step towards lasting change is understanding the inner workings of this powerful, yet often misunderstood system. The good news is, you absolutely can rewire your habits, reshape those neural pathways. Once you gain a clear understanding of how the habit loop actually works and how to manipulate its components, you're definitely not stuck in your current patterns, you're simply following the well-worn paths that your brain has diligently created over time. And with conscious effort and the right strategies, you absolutely can blaze entirely new trails, forging habits that serve you better. Every habit runs on a simple 3-step loop. Cue, routine, reward. The cue is the trigger, maybe a time, place, emotion, or action. The routine is the behavior itself, the action you take. The reward is what your brain craves: pleasure, relief, or a sense of accomplishment. For example, a phone notification checking your phone and a hit of social connection, or feeling bored grabbing a snack and getting a burst of energy. This loop is everywhere, driving both good and bad habits. Once you spot the loop, you can start to change it. The key isn't willpower, it's understanding and redesigning the loop. Change the routine, keep the cue and reward, and you can reshape any habit. This is the user manual for your brain. Master the loop, and you master your habits. Enter the keystone habit, the one change that sparks a cascade of positive effects. Instead of overhauling your life, focus on one strategic habit. Exercise is a classic example. Start working out, and you might eat better, sleep more, and become more productive. Or, make your bed each morning, a tiny act that sets a tone of order and accomplishment for the day. Keystone habits create small wins, building belief that change is possible. They reshape your self-image. You become someone who follows through. The magic isn't in the habit itself, but in the ripple effect it creates. Don't ask, how do I change everything? Ask, what's the one habit that could change everything else? Start with one keystone habit, and let the momentum build. Small changes lead to big transformations. Find your keystone, and let it tip the first domino. Habits aren't just abstract theory or interesting concepts. They are the engine that drives real-world success, shaping outcomes in tangible and measurable ways. Take Starbucks, for example. They transformed their customer service by training employees to handle stressful situations. This wasn't achieved through complex strategies, but with a simple, easily repeatable routine. This routine fundamentally transformed customer service, turning potential complaints into positive experiences. The cue and upset customer, a common occurrence in any service industry. The routine, the Lottie method, a structured approach to de-escalate tension and find solutions. Listen, truly hear the customer's concerns. Acknowledge their frustration and validate their feelings. Take action to resolve the issue, showing a commitment to finding a solution. Thank the customer for bringing the issue to your attention. Explain the steps you've taken and the resolution you've provided. The reward, a calm, confident outcome, where both the customer and the employee feel heard and respected. Similarly, Michael Phelps, the Olympic legend, didn't just rely on raw talent. He meticulously built his unparalleled success on a foundation of carefully crafted habits. He used visualization techniques and stroke-counting routines to prepare himself mentally and physically for each race. These habits made his performance automatic, a testament to the power of consistent practice. This ingrained automation allowed him to maintain peak performance even when his goggles filled with water mid-race, a situation that would derail most athletes. When pressure hit in those crucial moments, his deeply ingrained habits took over, guiding his actions without conscious thought, ultimately leading him to another gold medal and cementing his legacy. These stories clearly show that true excellence is consistently built on well-designed systems, and not just on innate talent or fleeting willpower. Individuals and organizations that consistently thrive proactively engineer routines that pave the way for success. They carefully identify keystone habits, and strategically let them drive continuous improvement across all areas. Habits make the right actions automatic, reducing the need for conscious effort. This is especially crucial even under immense stress. So what's the real difference between ordinary and extraordinary performance? It's better habits, consistently applied, not superhuman effort or unsustainable bursts of energy. Build the right system of habits, and success naturally becomes your default setting. Remember, habits are the very foundation upon which all significant achievement is built. Engineer them wisely and strategically, and watch the incredible transformation that unfolds. Ready to change? Don't fight old habits, hijack the loop. Identify the routine you want to change, experiment with rewards, and isolate the cue. For example, if you crave a cookie every afternoon, ask, is it hunger, a break, or social time you want? Try different routines. Walk, chat, tea, and see what satisfies the craving. Track the cue. Where, when, how you feel, who's around, what happened before. Patterns will emerge. Now write a plan. When cue happens, I will new routine to get reward. Example, When it's 3 p.m. and I'm bored, I'll chat with a friend instead of grabbing a cookie. Don't rely on willpower, rely on your plan. Give your brain a new path to follow. This is how you rewire your habits, intentionally, step by step. Change the loop, change your life. You know the science, the underlying principles. Now it's time for action, to put that knowledge to use. Knowledge alone doesn't change your life, not on its own. Decisions do. Pick one keystone habit, just one to focus on, just one. What's the small change that could spark a positive ripple in your life? Maybe it's putting on your running shoes, making your bed, or reading a page before TV. Start with something so simple you can't fail. Use the 5-second rule. When you feel the urge, that impulse to act, count down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and move. Don't hesitate. Let the countdown be your cue to act. Progress, not perfection, is the goal. Prove to yourself you can change, one habit at a time. Your future self is waiting, anticipating the changes you'll make. Start now. Decide, act, and let your new habit take root. The first step is all it takes.